Injury report. Did you throw the injury report in there?
You did.
Did I?
You did.
Injury report. Let's check it out for today. Detroit
second.
Lions injury report.
Good news.
A lot of good news.
Fantastic.
There's only one bad one, but I don't think people realize, like, I saw some people like, oh, what's going on with Frank?
Oh.
Frank had a rest day. Like, I don't know why I listened to some people saying, like, what's going to happen? Frank had a rest day. He's been having a rest day every single week for the last 6 months.
He has 9 toes and he just tore his meniscus. He can just take a day off.
Yes, he gets
probably take tomorrow off.
He get a couple days off a week for him. He deserves that. Panay, if anyone was wondering, Panay Sewell, he's not really off of the thing yet, but he's right there. Like he practiced
full
practice
good.
today. They just haven't taken him off yet.
Yeah.
What else is there? Brock Wright was still no practice. Jerry Jacobs no practice. Derek Barnes limited. I think this one's yesterday's practice report. I don't think I put the updated one in there.
It is. I can get it for you. But you described it. I mean, it was
Jerry Jacobs, Frank, no practice. Brock, I'm on Twitter right now looking at this.
Perfect.
Derek Barnes, limited still. Jason Kambinda and C.J. Gardner-Johnson, limited. Quick question on that. I saw some people in the chat ask this.
Yes.
For you, C.J. Gardner-Johnson, go for Sunday. What is the issue with that? I'm guessing Sunday or Saturday usually we get, like, when people get elevated, that usually comes out Saturday during the day.
Yeah.
Percentage of a chance he gets elevated off the IR and plays on Sunday.
I gave this percentage to Eduardo who asked, and I in this. We haven't been told anything by the coaches.
Yep.
CD Deuce wants to play, but my guess is it's about 10%.
Okay.
I don't know, especially with the division still on the line. I think that roster spot's important. Like, I don't know if they're willing to give it up for a player to play one series. If he could. I don't know how much he's been hitting this week in practice. Since he's been limited, maybe he's not even gone full tackle in practice. So I think it's about 10%. I imagine... At least I think by the Cowboys game, he should be at least up to 50%. So I'd be surprised if he wasn't activated for that game and had a substantial role in the game. Maybe not playing 100% like he normally would. Although there is a video I know you'll show a little bit later in this segment of Aaron Glenn's decision-making process around the safety room now, around his 3 safeties with the emergence of Iffy. So I'm going to give it a 10%.
With him limited, and some reason I have a feeling he's a full go in Dallas. I just don't see, like, CJ, like, I don't personally know him, but you speak with it, like people speak that I know spoke with. He seems like a guy, like he talked about how he did rehab from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. every day. Like I feel like him getting into game shape isn't like a crazy thing. And there you guys see that up there too. So here's the full one. And even Minnesota, they have a couple guys. One big thing that stood out to me on the Minnesota one, fellas, Daniil Hunter, no practice yesterday. Today he's back, limited practice. So he's a guy. Alexander Madison, no practice. Byron Murphy, no practice. Jalen Naylor, no practice. And Harrison Phillips and Brian O'Neill, both no practice. So they have some. They're dealing with some stuff over there, actually.
Yeah.
They're dealing with some.
Week
injuries.
16, every team in the NFL is banged up. But the fact that they're starting, although Ty Chandler has been playing well at running back, he's a little lightning out of that backfield. Alexander Madison is the guy they were willing to let Delvin Cook go for. So that's a part of their offense. But they are getting Justin Jefferson. He's healthy now. Nick Mullins is going to start to work him into the offense more, I'm sure. Last week it was Jordan Addison had more targets and everything. You know that's not going to last long with Justin Jefferson. He's going to be needing his 10 to 12. It's going to be one of those things. We're going to see. I think we're going to see a lot of tossing the pigskin by Nick Mullins, especially in the direction of Justin Jefferson and T.J. Hawkinson.
A couple videos I wanted to play for you guys here today as well. We did have some stuff on AG kind of speaking about the secondary and who's going to get the reps and all that, because obviously if he's been taking the Tracy Walker ones, you've seen Khalil Dorsey and Kendall Vildor get the second corner ones. First video I want to play here in KG, it's the one that on there it says AG on Dorsey. This is basically he's talking about Khalil Dorsey, and he's also talking about on the back end of this in regards to kind of which guys are going to play and how he's been looking at a guy like Dorsey and is saying, hey, we're going with him over Jerry Jacobs. So here's AG on that.
And I've said this many times, when you show me in practice you can go out there and compete and you can play, you're going to get a chance to play for me. And he deserved that. So he went out there and he did a good job for us.
Practice, baby.
We talking about practice.
We're talking about practice. That shows me that some guys have been showing out in practice.
Best players on the practice field plays. I don't know. This had to have something to do with Tracy Walker getting a little bit of a demotion for Iffy. And Iffy, I don't know who earned it, if Iffy earned it or if Tracy sort of took a step back. I definitely think Iffy earning it played a part in it. So he's proven if you're playing well, you'll get a play. He talked about Khalil Dorsey, Kendall Vildor. They're guys that have been waiting in the wings but have been working hard in practice and can do some things. He actually called those two out, plus Iffy specifically, talking about the Denver Broncos game. The things that they were allowed to do with Khalil Dorsey's speed at cornerback, just having him out there allowed them to send an extra guy on a blitz because Dorsey could hang just a little bit longer. He didn't mention Jerry Jacobs by name, but he is the slower cornerback on that group, so he's got to be partially related.
Another thing too with that, if he kind of taking that Tracy spot with CJ coming back, that's where things get questionable. Kirby, Iffy, Brian Branch. Now you have CJ coming back. AG actually talked about that. Someone asked him, and this is another quick video here, but he does touch on it and again, and it's kind of he's kind of doubling down on everything he's saying. So here's AG on when CJ returns.
It's a good problem. Best guy plays. Best guy plays. It's simple. So whoever the best guy is in practice, that's who's going to play. So I don't want to make anything bigger than this and what it is, so please don't ask.
That's it.
Best guy plays.
Yeah. I didn't mean to give it away there, but yeah, best guy plays.
You're good. Those are the two main clips today. Honestly, I wanted to play because I feel like even the listeners and the people of Detroit, like all the fans, like that's been something on defense. Like the defense has been struggled at times, and you're like, what's happening? And then you see all of a sudden, no one hears anything all week. A couple weeks ago, and Tracy Walker doesn't get a snap, and then Iffy's in there, and then no one says anything again, and Jerry Jacobs is out, and things are starting to get changed around, and then your defense last week versus Denver actually looked legit, and now CJ's coming back, and now it's like these guys that just start. So
there's a very bad word that you're not allowed to use, but it's a word that speaks to all of this. It's adjustments.
AG said don't use the word adjustments.
Don't ever use that word. I think no one in the media will ever use that word again. But these are adjustments that he's made that have looked good.
If I see AG on the street, I'm going up to him, shaking his hand, and saying, "Hey, great adjustments so far this year,
AG,
man."
the adjustment god.
Yeah, then we should start that. AG, the adjustment god.
Get that baby trending. But no,
man, he'll probably hate us for that.
Real quick, I know we're up against a break, but he was talking. I was thinking about Dorsey and Vildor, but he talked a lot about Iffy Melifonwu and not just this is what they expect out of him, but he came out as a cornerback and he's transitioned to a safety. So he's got those types of ball skills, those types of coverage skills. He just happens to be 6'3", 225. So that allows them to do things with a safety who can blitz like he does, but they can send other guys. Excuse me.
Whoa.
That's when they're able to send Vildor and Khalil Dorsey on those quarterback rushes because they had Iffy back there and they trusted him and his speed. Boom.